much weight if you're trying to lift heavy weight. However, you will become an incredible fat burner if that's your goal. And that's important to know. One of the things you want to tackle, we have to do it really fast, is a ranking of the sugar substitutes. What do you want to do?
All of them.
Do it.
Yeah. Number one, as we talked about, xylitol. Number two, stevia. Those are great. Use them as much as you want.
So best to worst is what we're doing?
Best to worst. Best xylitol, stevia, a close second. Third, we get into some of the actual sugars. As I mentioned, dextrose, which is just food-grade glucose, would be my top of the sugars. Next would be honey. The reason honey is lower is because honey is actually very high in fructose. It's naturally high in fructose. In fact, a higher percentage than high fructose corn syrup. But the honey is not pure free fructose, so you absorb the fructose much more slowly. So it's much better, in my opinion, than high fructose corn syrup, or especially agave, which we now know is even worse than high fructose corn syrup. Sucrose would be one of the lower ones, which is just white table sugar. And then beyond that, we get into the ones that I say never, ever, ever touch, ever. So your sucralose, which is Splenda, sorbitol, which can cause diabetic neuropathies, high fructose corn syrup,
aspartame,
agave, and last aspartame.
Yeah, the absolute worst.
Completely avoid any of
It's
those things.
It's amazing that you're putting this agave that's supposed to be healthy just above aspartame. I mean, it's impactful. It's profound because, again, I never researched it and I didn't know anything good or bad about it. So I never
it's almost the
on
worst
it.
of the worst.
All right, let's go to the tee box.
Hey.
Hey, boys.
What is up, George?
Hey, so you never mentioned saccharin.
It's just another one of those chemicals.
Exactly.
Avoid it. Put it in that bottom list of things you never want to touch.
I didn't mention saccharin because one of the things where I started getting very energetic, let's say, very passionate in that area, was when I talk about people who take these sugar molecules and put them together. Whenever you take something and you refine it and you do something like that, whether it be Splenda, Equal, any of those ones, stay away from it. 100% stay away.
What about agave nectar?
We just talked about that, so I guess you didn't hear it.
I couldn't. I was
Go ahead.
like...
Bad stuff. Stay away. It's worse than high fructose corn syrup.
It's one of the worst things you can have.
How about honey?
Just talked about that too. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Webster.
Yeah, honey's a little bit better than high fructose corn syrup, but it's real high in fructose, so it's not that great, really.
Let's keep in mind, guys, anytime you introduce an energy-type food, whether that be honey or bread, if you have fat to lose, all you're doing is adding more energy in to work off the energy. You already have enough energy. Stop adding energy, work off the energy you have. Follow me here?
Yep.
And then you don't have to worry about those issues later on. One of the things I've said often, if you put in 50% of the effort, you cannot expect 100% of the results. Or you can expect it, but it'll never happen.
Hey, can I change topic?
You can do anything you want.
So I've started to play basketball with a bunch of young kids on Monday evenings in a gym that has no air conditioning. So, and I'll say it's a great workout and I love it. Good kids and having a blast. But when I'm done, I'm completely drenched. So I drink a gallon of water.
Are you also lethargic, Craig?
No.
Okay.
No, he's tired.
What?
No, lethargic. I mean, he just played against a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Well, I have a reason. I have a reason for saying that, but go ahead.
Things are great. I had a great time. I played okay. I mean, obviously, I'm Shaq to those guys, except 5'10". But I'm not. But what happens is I sit down, and after I'm done playing, I drink a gallon of water, and I cramp up.
There you go.
Himalayan sea salt.
There you go. Rick, T-Box, you stole my job. We're done.
All right, no more George DeJean.
Yeah. Prior to
You know when I use it? I use it after I do yard work.
Well, let's
Actually,
keep something
during
in
it,
mind, guys. Hold
I'll
on one
sip it
second.
during
Let's keep something in mind. Dr. Webster, you may disagree, but this is what I say to people. Yesterday I went on a bike ride in 9,000-degree weather, and I took a 20-ounce bottle of water with me, and I put a teaspoon, a level teaspoon of sea salt in there. I had it a little bit before I went on the bike ride and during the bike ride. Let's not wait till afterward when you can cramp or you can pass out from heat exhaustion, you can die. We hear about old people that don't recognize that their taste for their thirst for taste or taste for thirst, however you would say it. They lose their sense of taste. They don't recognize that they're thirsty, that they need to replace those electrolytes. Don't wait till after. Would you agree?
Yes, to sip it during the basketball game.
And
Okay.
before.
And before. Yeah, I use it. Cause God, I sweat like crazy. Obviously, tomorrow, we're going to get into this at 9:15. But the Rangers have a day game tomorrow.
Right.
It's supposed to be the hottest heat index day of the year. It's going to be like 115-degree heat index
Wow.
for a day game.
Wonder what tickets are going for.
I was like, be the catcher. Screw the. I mean, heck with the fans. They're just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Did you guys
A
hear
lot
about
of
that
sea
guy?
salt, right, George?
I would have sea salt and water. You know, water's a nutrient, but doesn't have all the electrolytes in it. I would have the sea salt
Right.
with it. Not a big teaspoon, just a level teaspoon if you're about to sweat that much. If you're just
Okay.
sitting in the stands as a fan, you don't need that much.
So, for my son who played lacrosse all summer and was in the heat all summer, the one thing the lacrosse kids all do is they drink Pedialyte.
It's one of those things that's, again, processed. It's not complete in nature, and you're probably missing some minerals. You're not going to have all 90 minerals in there, right?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
exactly.
better than not having anything. It's better than having freaking one of those AIDS, Powerade, Gatorade.
One of which has high fructose
Yeah, I
corn
think
syrup
just
in
about
it.
anything is better than having AIDS.
Yes, it is. You knew that's where I was going. I knew somebody was picking up on that. One of you 5-year-olds.
I just want
Yeah,
to alert
that-
the listeners who just drove off the road.
Yeah.
I think we're keeping Kimberly Clark in business with them because boy, he drinks a ton of it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Pedialyte. It's just I would probably mix in maybe a half teaspoon of sea salt, again, depending on the amount of water. At least 20 ounces of water, at
Maybe
least.
dilute it too.
You know, when I was guzzling that water with the sea salt when we were doing our golf marathon, one thing I found interesting, George says that the taste is kind of unpleasant, which it didn't bother me that much. To me, it tasted exactly like sweat. It was the
The
weirdest
sea
thing.
salt?
You're drinking
I'll give you a
sweat.
better one. You guys want a drink that you can have where you don't have to put sea salt in it? It's probably the best drink on the market. And this is a plug for them. I get nothing for it. Crazy Water.
I've seen that.
What's that?
It's got
Seen it.
several different levels, 1 through 4. One tastes
Like ultra crazy, insane?
yes.
I think it's for different levels of stuff, right?
Yeah, like number 4 is the athlete. When you're sweating a whole lot, you have it is mineral water. It's got all the minerals in it. It's perfect in nature. You don't have to add anything to it. You don't have to worry about it being too salty. And I mean it's strong. It's strong. Don't get me wrong. I'll use the 2 or the 3. The 1 just tastes like regular bottled water. But even the 1 is actually very good for you, much better than regular bottled water.
Where do you get it?
Grocery store.
Which rappers endorsed it?
No clue.
Because if they haven't endorsed it, I can't, because who does...
I believe all of the Dallas Stars use it. I believe.
I've seen it.
All right. Crazy water.
Actually,
and-
you don't have to use the sea salt. It's actually perfect the way it is.
My wife, from listening to you, George, my wife has taken all table salt and all regular salt out of the house. Won't even use regular sea salt now. Only uses the Himalayan sea salt in the salt shakers.
Good. Excuse me. It's a good idea because you need it every day, whether you sweat or not, and you sweat every day anyway.